Hello everybody and welcome back to the 2020 presidential election state by state series. Today we are covering the state of New York, which is the 36th episode of this series. With a population of over 19.5 million people, New York holds 29 electoral votes in the Electoral College. That's tied for the third most of any state, only trailing California and Texas. But as always, let's get started with the 2008 election results between former President Barack Obama and Republican nominee John McCain. Back in this election before the 2010 census, New York was responsible for 31 electoral votes, and as you would expect, Obama carried all of them. He won with 62.88% of the vote to McCain's 36.03%. Over 2 million votes separated the two of them, and the Empire State voted almost 10 points to the left of the nation. This was the largest share of the vote a Democratic candidate has received in New York since 1964, until Obama actually outperformed his 2008 showing just 4 years later in 2012. Despite winning less votes overall, he did win 63.35% of the vote to Republican nominee Mitt Romney's 35.17%. New York also swung over 2 points further to the left of the national average, making it one of the few states in which Barack Obama improved in from 2008. Then in 2016, despite representing New York as junior U.S. Senator from 2001 to 2009, Hillary Clinton underperformed Obama by a full 4 points. However, the state was also home to Republican nominee and now President Donald Trump. He did outperform McCain and Romney, but not by as much as you might think. The lower vote lead for Clinton overall was actually mainly due to a rise in third-party candidacies. However, when you compare it to the national popular vote, New York remained over 10 points to the left, maintaining its deep blue stature. And that's it for the historical results. Now let's get into the 2020 data. Starting out with the 538 polling average, Joe Biden's got a 26.7 point lead. If you look down below as well, you can see that the 2018 exit polls showed Democrats having a significant advantage in party registration, as Republicans even make up less of the constituency than independents. And next we have the 538 forecast, which gives Biden a slightly lower 26 point lead. However, this time in the state statistics, the 2018 governor results, incumbent Andrew Cuomo won re-election by over 23 points. And moving on to our second forecast, the JHK, they have Biden ahead by a whopping 28.5 points, which is even higher than Obama's 2012 result. Taking a peek at the 2018 House results though as well, it is just another example of how deep blue the state really is. Democrats outperformed Republicans by 36 points overall. Then in the Our Progress forecast, Biden leads by his lowest margin thus far of 25.7 points. Voter turnout would normally have more of an impact as well, but given the expected landslide in New York, we don't have to pay attention all that much to the relatively low turnout overall. The Economist forecast is next, and it is the second to last. It has the former vice president somewhere in between at 27.8 points ahead of Trump, who I forgot to mention is no longer calling New York his home state. And finally though, the EP forecast has Biden at his lowest lead of them all at 25.2 points. And down below is the state's 2016 Senate race, where Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer won over 70% of the vote en route to re-election. And that means that he overperformed Hillary Clinton, who he served beside in the US Senate, by over 10 points, which is very interesting. And to cap all of the data you just saw, the data consensus is a combined average, and it has Biden 26.6 points ahead of Trump, with 61.9% in his column, to Donald Trump's 35.3%. And that does it for the data. And as you can see in the bottom left, the polls have just closed, so let's go to our EP studios for a major projection. Joe Biden is the projected winner in New York. He will carry the Empire State's 29 electoral votes, as expected here tonight. The historically deep blue state will go into the Democratic column for the 9th consecutive presidential election, as the former Vice President Joe Biden defeats President Donald Trump by a margin of 25.5 percentage points. 1,974,000 is the margin of victory for him as well in the pure vote count, as he outperforms Clinton by a pretty wide margin. And now looking at the county map, along with 7 bellwether counties, Biden won in 5 of them and Trump in just 1 of them. Take a good look here at the county map before we take a look at what effect this has on the election map. Joe Biden has picked up his first lead in the entire series. With the 29 electoral votes added to his total from New York, he now has 196 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 179. 163 votes remain out there left to be called, including the important states of Wisconsin, Iowa, Texas, and Nevada. Those 4 states could very well determine the winner of this entire series. As for the US popular vote, Biden has retaken the lead, and by a large margin at that, thanks to New York. Over 1 million votes is his lead now nationwide. This is the first time either candidate has led in this entire series by over 1 million votes, and he leads Trump by around 1.5 percentage points as well, with the 2 third-party candidates, Joe Jorgensen and Howie Hawkins, trailing far behind. But that does it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like the video down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out more content from my channel here as well. Thanks so much for watching, and tune in next time. EP out.